Okay, so hashtag 6. We're looking at the 4th string, probably the most difficult string to find right off the bat. So 1, 2, 3, 4 with your thumb. Okay, and we call this the D string. D as in David. We're on page 75 to start this week. We've got a lot of pages to cover on this one. Alright, so we're on 75. As you can see, the D is just below the staff. Just below the staff. And just a reference, remember we have that first page in your notebook, if it's still still part of the first page. Remember you got the bracket with all the notes on the first string, all the notes on the second string, all the notes on the third string as a reference. I kept mentioning you're welcome to write in the notes to your music. We'll use that first page for that reference so you know what letter name is, or maybe string number, fret number, what works for you. So we have the 4 open strings. The title says 4 open strings, so this song pretty much covers all 4 strings. As you can see, the first measure is the 4th string, and then the second measure goes 4, 3, 2, 1, and it does it again, and then the last measure 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so in tempo, 1, 2, ready, go. I choose guitar. Once you've identified the notes and where they're located and you practiced a little bit, here's the demonstration of how it should sound. 1, 2, 3, 4. First time, they're not helping you out with the numbers, are they? So you got to be able to identify those notes. And this is where you first start. I'm sorry, a little frog in my throat. This is the first time where you're like getting B and D mixed up, like the last 2 measures. You got your second string B, second note is 3rd string G, and then the D, 2nd string 3rd fret. Then the 4th string, which is the new note, and then the 3rd string. So, you might have to make some notes for those struggling moments. And again, practice. Perfect practice makes perfect. Okay, so make sure you practice and don't try to throw it together on the recording. You can't fool a musician. Okay, so you got to practice a little bit. Show me that you worked on it, and not rushing like you are trying to put all the assignments together at the last minute. Page 77, the Lone Star Trail. Alright, that first note is kind of weird. It looks like an italicized half note, and we talked about it last time. Italicized notes are the strum of the chords, and you can tell we start out with the, and you jump into the 4th note, 4th string, and then you go on to the familiar notes. Okay, looking down at the bottom line, I think you might have some trouble with. I think you got it. Alright, so once you figure out the notes, and just keeping up with the tempo, keeping a steady tempo, you can go fast, you can go slow, whatever works for you and your brain. 1, 2, ready, go. Mozart trail. Yippee-yay, yippee-yay. All right, 81 is our next. Rock Me Mozart. Rock Me Mozart. Now, a lot of you know from Mozart. Bum, 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 bum. You can go that fast, great, but this one you don't have to. I don't see any issues. We do have the chords come up. The weird one on the third line. The third line. At the end, you have a G chord, and then it just tells you to play G7, but it doesn't give you the picture like it did at the end of the second line. So if you see, if I see that, the third line at the end, you got a G, and then there's no picture, but you play G7, G7. And then as you go to the fourth line, they take away all the pictures. And so that's when they're starting to take away the pictures, and you've got to be able to remember which chord is which. Just remember the G7 is the first finger up there. So here's how it goes. We'll go at a steady tempo here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I messed up there on that last line. Let me do that last line again. There you go. So take your time. If you want to go faster, great. But I just like that tempo a lot better. So take your time, work it out. Work a little bit at a time, first line, second line, whatever, and then build it up. All right, On My Horse, page 82. So we got a new note. It's the bottom line E, bottom line E. Now if you remember A, that third space A, it was string 3, number 2. Well, now we got fourth string, number 2. Okay, and that's what E is. 4, 2, and you use your middle finger. All the 2s, all the second frets will use your middle finger. Hint, hint, wink, wink. So middle finger for the 2s. On My Horse. So that after you've done your research on the notes, or if you can read them really well, that's great. But I bet you half of you probably cannot. What do I got? 21, about 21 at this time. So I'd say about 10 of you will have trouble, and you'll have to write it in, and that's okay. You'll have to spend some time, but at some point, please try to learn it. So the first measure, of course, is fourth string. Okay, so that's where we're starting. 1, 2, ready, go. There's a couple of times where I almost played the wrong note, or if I did, I hesitated a little bit. So you just keep striving to push forward. to keep the steady tempo. If that's too fast for you, you can play slower, okay? So that's 82. 84 is next. Got a couple of songs on 84. You got Old MacDonald Had a Farm. And then you have C Blues. I wonder if you can figure out which note is played a lot in C Blues. C, right? Okay. So C for Mr. C. So Old MacDonald had a farm. Old MacDonald had a farm. Remember that? So here's what it will sound like. You can go fast, slow, but I just, like I said, I like to go steady. 1, 2, ready, go. Right, so you can see I messed up there going into that second line, and so right, it's like, where does that 2 go? And it should be on the 4th string second. So that second line again is 3, 3, 3, open 4, and then 4, 2. And they're the moments where you like your finger hits 3, 2, and you're strumming 4, and so you make sure you're playing the right string and number, okay? So after you practice it a while, you'll realize whether you play the right note or not, okay? And that's another reason I can tell. All right, so C Blues. 1, 2, ready, go. Let me do it again. So the end of that second line, or that first line, that's not the C that we're used to strumming, is it? So it's telling you right there in the middle of the page, if you're paying attention, it's actually giving you the second finger to the big C. Okay, and there's still 1 finger off. So you're playing 2nd string 1st fret, 2nd string 1st fret, and then 4th string. Now that we've learned the 4th string, 2nd fret. That's what it'll sound like. Okay, so there's your other C to the C Blues. So from the start, 1, 2, ready, go. So there you go. Like, I make a mistake here or there, but you can tell when I make the mistake. I'm having trouble finding that 3-2-A at the time being. So, but that gives you an idea how it's supposed to go, which is part of the demonstration. All right, so move it on to 87. 87. Introducing F. So on the 4th string, we have 4th open D, 4, 2, 4th string, 2nd fret E, and now we got this awkward 4th string, 3rd fret F. Listen to the sound. Just off just a little bit. So again, you use your ring finger on 4-3, and it's the 1st space on the staff. Now, so now that we've done all 4 spaces, you have F, 2nd space is A, 3rd space is our C that we've been playing a lot, and then that first note that we learned was E. So F-A-C-E spells face, doesn't it? So that's how I kind of learned a long time ago. Face are the spaces. Face is the space. So, and then all the other notes kind of worked around it because I know the alphabet, as you do. So that helps me kind of learn the notes on the staff because of that. Baseball, my favorite sport. So you start out with a new note F, and then third string A, and then the A, then you go to the C, then to the A, F, and then to the fourth open, back to F. So it's giving you a lot of work on that F. Now notice, starting on the second measure, you're using the C, which is second string first fret. If you're using the right fingers, you're going to be moving diagonal down your guitar. So your C is your second string first fret. Then you use your middle finger for 3-2, and then diagonally one more time, your ring finger for 4-3 F, and of course open. So putting it all together, once you've had a chance to work at it, 1, 2, ready, go. So the last two measures is 4 open, then 4-2, and then 4-3. Okay, and as you practice it a few times, you'll be able to nail it. So that's baseball. So that's 87, and then 90. Reuben, Reuben. Reuben, Reuben. This is one of those songs that the first two lines are repeated on the last two lines, but it's a lot of work on 4-3 F. And remember to keep counting so you'll know how many times to play the repeated notes. So here's what it'll sound like. 1, 2, ready, go. A lot of mistakes in there, but hopefully I'll make up for it on the last two lines. 1, 2, line 3. So the last two measures, see, when you concentrate on it, you'll be able to play it like I just did. Okay, going across it, looking at it, you will make a mistake. So when you practice it and repeat it a few times, you'll be able to play it a lot better than I just did. So the last two measures. The last few notes, 4 open, 4-2, 4-3. A little confusing. Now, as you make notes, you can write the notes, but if you're doing like numbers for string number and fret number, you can do like a little fraction. The last note, which is 4-3, you can put 4/3. If you get the idea, you understand what that means. 4th string, 3rd fret. 4/3, 4th string, 3rd fret. So whatever system you want to do. So that was 90. Here's 91. A lot to do this week, isn't it? So this one's pretty much just looks easy, but it's in 3/4. This is our first look at triple meter, which is 3 beats per measure. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Versus 1, 2, 3, 4 that we've been doing. So as you look at it, it'll be times of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So slowly, here's what the song will sound like when you eventually get to recording it. Okay, second line. Okay, and you do it again until you kind of get it, until you're ready to record it. Just like that. Okay, so it took me, what, 3 times to finally nail it. Alright, so that is it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 is for me. So once you hear the tune, you should be able to play it the way it should be intended to play. And then Daisy Bell, which is 93. I'm not asking you to play this, but I wanted to show you our first look at 2 notes at the same time. What does that mean, Mr. C? So if you look at page 93, playing 2 notes at once. So if you look at the second measure, you figure out what the top note is, which is E, so that will be open, first string, right? And the note below it is the C that we've been playing a lot, second string, first fret. Now how do you play those at the same time? Well, you can strum down, or you can pluck them. Okay. And you can see the third measure, same thing, different set of notes. You got a C, the C, and the G, open G, and just pull up on them. But you don't have to play that one. I just wanted to at least discuss it. Okay, so that will finish up hashtag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So look forward to seeing you on the hashtag 7.